In a previous video that I have done on the channel, I've talked about not getting stuck in any one particular genre of photography. So I was sitting in the house a while ago and contemplating the weather. And as you can see behind me, it is gray, overcast skies today. And we are supposed to get some rain sometime today. And I could have chose to just sat in the house in my easy chair, drank a cup of coffee, got my tablet out, and watched some YouTube videos. But after about 5 minutes of thinking about that, I decided no, that's not what I was going to do. What I was going to do is I was going to come outside and take a walk in the woods behind my house. Now, I've been back here many times in the woods behind my house, and I've given it a name affectionately. I call it the Peavine Woodlands. And the reason why I call it the Peavine Woodlands is I live on a road named Peavine, okay? And these are the woodlands behind my house. There's my house over there, and there's a field between me and my house and these woods. Now, this woods is about 25 acres. I've cut some trails back here by hand with weed eater and what have you. They had logged this about 5-6 years ago. And anyways, I come back here occasionally to do wildlife photography. But today, what I decided to do, isn't that grass really green behind me? It's really amazing at springtime. So today, what I decided to do was to come out and go for a walk, okay, in the woods. Now, what I brought with me is this bag, okay? It's not a backpack, it's just a side pouch. But in there, I brought a small tripod with a ball head on it. And I brought a selfie stick for my Pocket 3. And it's also like a tripod, okay? And I brought my Nikon Z50 Mark II, okay? Right here. I'll show you just one second. Right here it is. And on the Z50 Mark II, I have placed my 105 macro, okay, f2.8 G AFS ED lens. This is an F-mount lens. So anybody that knows anything about these macro lenses, this is the Nikon 105 2.8 G macro lens. It's a very good macro lens. I never upgraded to the Z mount. I stayed with the F mount because I can use this lens just as well as I can with a Z mount. Now, being on the Z50 Mark II with a 1.5 crop, this 105 becomes about 150 something, maybe 160. I don't know. I ain't gonna do the math real quick. So, you know, it's a lot more magnification. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk through the woods and I'm going to just see if there's some macro shots that I could photograph while I'm out here. Come along with me. Let's go. Now, yesterday I was out in another part of the county in some woods, and I started to see some remnants, well, not remnants, some materialization of wildflowers. And I'm hoping that I might get to see that today, okay? This is March the 30th, and it's a little bit early for wildflowers, but they are materializing. So I'm going to be looking down a lot, and that's important when you're walking through the woods like this. Take your time and look at the environment you're in, and you will find something to photograph. Now, if you're fortunate enough, like me, and to have some woods that are near your home, then it's possible to explore those, okay? Even if they're not yours. If they belong to somebody else, go find out who it is. Ask them if you would mind if you walked around their woods to do photography. Fortunately for me, I have a pretty good neighbor, and he knows that I come back here to do photography, and he doesn't mind one bit. Right over here, I want to show you something, okay? I'm going to take you right over there. So I want to show you this area right over here. Back here in these woods is some kind of rock outcropping, and I just noticed how green the moss is on the rocks. And I want to take you up here and just show you what I'm talking about. Now I have this 105 lens, okay? Let's look up through there. That's what I'm talking about. I think I want to take a photograph of that up through there with this 105. I'm going to try to do it handheld. I'm not sure I got my camera settings right. I'll have to kind of look at that first. Okay, pretty much my street settings will work. I'm at f8 1/250th of a second, and the ISO is at 640. I've got it. I think I got it set at 640 ISO. It's kind of neat how you can see that moss back there. So there's one photograph. I think what might be interesting is it's supposed to rain. If I would come back here after it rains and bring my wide angle lens and rephotograph that and see what it looks like in a wide angle. We're going to walk down here and get back on this trail. Anyways, right up there, okay, I spotted what looked like a place where some animals might have been going in and out under this rock. So I had a game camera back here on this tree right here, watching it. And I did get a picture one night, what looked to be like possibly a fox, okay? But what I want to do is I'm going to place the camera card back in this game camera I got right here, but I'm going to move the camera closer. I'm going to take you up there in just a second and show you what I'm talking about. And wouldn't you know it, I checked the radar before I left the house, and I come out here in the woods and it's starting to sprinkle. So let's move this camera to a better location to see if I could photograph anything, catch anything on this camera coming in and out of this area right here. So the place I'm talking about is right there in that rock, okay? And I did have a photograph of something in here, and I'm not too sure what it was, but I'm going to place this camera up here on the tree. I'm going to have to put a stick behind it to angle it down. That was one of my goals for coming out here this afternoon, was to put the camera card back in this camera, okay? Sometimes I like to use a game camera to keep up with wildlife, okay? So just to get a little technical here, I need to angle the camera down a little bit. It's kind of pointing up. I want it pointing down. You can see there's a lot of disturbance here where something's been coming in and out, and I'm really interested to see what I can film here or see here. It doesn't seem like it's right either. So I've got the camera placed right in front of this, and I just took a photograph. It looks like there's a hole in the ground in there. Now I don't want to get too close. in case it is a fox den. And that's what I'm hoping, okay? One of the reasons I have this game camera set here. Okay, I've got it turned on, and we're just gonna leave it be right there, and we'll come back in a week or so and check it, okay, to see if there's any activity here. So yeah, you know, that's I know there's animals back here. I've seen them. Last winter I seen a fox run out of the woods here, and I've had them in my yard before. In fact, a couple summers ago I had the female, and I think it was about 3 kits in my front yard. And I'm going to show you a picture I took of them with my Nikon D500 and the 200 to 500 lens. And they were there for about 2 days. So I'm going to continue my walk around this 25-acre plot of ground. Like I said earlier, I'm constantly looking, just taking my time, looking down to see if I can find anything to photograph. So I was just walking down this path over here that they bush hogged out, and I just happened to look over to the left, and I spotted a glimmer of color. And that's something that you kind of want to watch out for this time of year. Everything's brown right now, but if you could just find some color, it might be something. So let me show you what I found right here. So this looks like some kind of holly tree or bush. I've never seen one that had yellow flowers on it before, and it looks like they're partially I don't know what they are. I'm going to take a photograph of them though with this macro lens if I can hold steady enough. Kind of interesting. Let's see how close I can get to them. I'm not too sure how sharp that's going to be. Anyways, I made a few photographs of that. Now I've got this app on my phone. It's called the iNaturalist, and supposedly you can take a picture. Let's see if I can find it here. I downloaded it the other day. iNaturalist. So supposedly you can take a picture. Okay, let's take a picture of this and see if it will tell me what this is. I'm going to put yellow pods like a holly bush. See if it says anything. I'm not sure what they are, but I'll try to find out. I'll check that later in another app I have and see if I can come up with a name for that. But this is an example. This time of year, you just want to look for some color out here in the woods. It's still pretty brown out here. If I can make my way back out this way, the way I came in, there's some briars here I was stepping on. Got one caught on my shirt. Whew. Yeah. Sometimes I bring some pruners with me, kind of prune back just a little bit when I'm trying to walk in somewhere. I don't have them with me today. Now, about 2 years ago, I was down here in, I don't know, it was May-ish, June, and I had a game camera set up right down here on a tree, that tree right over there, in fact. And I caught some photographs of a doe, and she would go in and out of the woods here throughout the course of the time the camera was here. And I believe I seen a fawn or two with her in there. So I don't know if they just found a quiet place back over here to bed down and, you know, have their fawns and maybe raise them, because you know, deer, after their fawns are born, they tend to hide them. Okay, and fawns by nature are, or instinct, not nature, by instinct, will lay down flat on the ground. You could almost walk up on one, but instinctively they will lay down as a defense mechanism, and hopefully you don't see them. But I have seen them before in the woods like that. You best not disturb them. There's nothing wrong with them. Sometimes these animals, these deer and fox, will bring their young ones up around people's houses. And from what I understand, the reason why they do that is they know that there's humans there and that they won't bother their young, and their young are kind of protected from predators, okay? Now, I'm not too sure. I guess coyotes would be a fox predator. I'm not too sure what the predators of a fox would be. And I guess coyotes would be a baby deer predator also. Anyways, we are going to continue. We're going to continue my trek around this place because I haven't even gone a quarter of the way around it. Springtime is a really cool time to come out and photograph landscapes because all the green foliage is starting to come out. It has different hues of green, you know, light green, dark green, just all kinds of different greens. And I think it really is beautiful in the springtime. Equally, there's a blue jay, equally as beautiful in the fall. Found some flowers right here on this tree. I think this is some kind of apple tree, crab apple tree maybe. I believe that's what this is. There's some more blossoms right here. Now the 105 lens that I'm using has VR, and that's kind of important because the Z50 Mark II does not have in-body stabilization. So I'm hand holding these shots today. I did not bring a tripod. Well, I didn't bring a big tripod with me. And I'm mainly just out here gathering information in the woods, looking around, making notes of what I see, just like that crab apple tree back there. There's plenty of pine trees back here with pine cones on them. Let me make a photograph of that one right there. One of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to identify more of the plants that I'm photographing. And I do have a couple of apps that can help me with that. But I think it'd be really good if I could just like memorize some of that stuff and be able to call it out without looking at my phone or an app. I've seen several things today that I photographed, and I could not tell you what they are. I have no clue at all. And so far, I haven't seen a whole lot of wildflowers or sproutings. Mostly what I'm seeing is the greenery like this right here coming out on these trees. It's funny how quick spring will all of a sudden appear on the landscape. And one thing you can really count on in the springtime is dandelions. And this one right here I just took a photograph of. It looks to me like it has a baby dragonfly on it from what I can tell. I took a photograph of it. I'll show it to you in the video now. So let me give you some pointers if you're contemplating walking around in the woods. Some gear you might want to consider. You might want to take a trekking pole if you're a senior citizen like me, because you will be getting down on the ground and you may have to roll yourself around to get up. Another thing to consider is, depending on where you live in the country, but down here in Tennessee, we do have snakes, we have copperheads, and we have timber rattlers. And they like habitat like this. So a pair of snake gaiters, or snake-proof boots would be good. I would suggest a pair of gloves, okay, and possibly some hand pruners, okay? Just in case you want to trompse out through the woods and you've got some briars or something in your way, you want to clip back, it's acceptable to do that. Well, I didn't find many photographs to make today. I did make a few though. The important thing about something like this, especially if you're trying to change your photography, is not to give up, okay? I may be a little early, and maybe there's no flowers or wildflowers in here. It could be poor soil conditions. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to come back, give it about a week, and do the same walk again, see what I see, bring my camera out. And you know, you can go to different parts of your county or city where you live and look for interesting things to photograph. The important thing is not to give up, okay? Find new things to photograph, keep your interest high, okay? Approach every walk with a wonderment about you, okay? Wondering what is around the next corner. And, you know, if you need some encouragement, okay, leave me a comment in this video and I'll be your coach, okay? I think we all need to lift each other up and, you know, if somebody is asking for some advice or some help, I'll go ahead and give it to them, you know. It isn't going to kill you to do that. That's part of why I like being part of a photography club, is there's like-minded individuals in there. And not everybody thinks the same way about their photography. Some people are purists and they're more serious about the rules of photography and those kind of things. And some of them are just wanting to go out and have fun with their camera. I've been in both places. I've been both sides, okay? You know, I'm more leaning now as I'm retired, leaning more towards just going out and having fun with my camera, okay? Thus, my street photography outings that I've been doing, which I think are a lot of fun, okay? I really enjoy those a lot. But I enjoy doing this too, wildflower hunting and taking photographs out in the woods. So, you know, mix it up a little bit. Hey, listen, my name's Ron Durant. I am a photographer. I live in East Tennessee, and you all have a nice day. We'll see you. Bye-bye. One more thing about my channel. If you are on here, I know sometimes it's difficult to do this, but if you're watching on a TV or sometimes on your smartphone or whatever, but if you could, you know, hit the like button every once in a while, it would really be appreciated and help me get the channel out to more people. And if you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. And when you do, make sure you click on the little notification bell so you get notifications when I put a new video out. I really appreciate that. Thanks.